Good afternoon, Shavua Tov, Israel briefers from all around the world. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, where you join me for a date every Monday to Thursday as we check out those top stories making headlines in Israel. We do it, of course, in partnership with these guys, Lay of the Land. Now, today is day 521. We still have 59 hostages that remain captive in the Gaza Strip. Hostages from different religions, hostages from different countries. We want them all home now. Oh, frog in my throat. And I just want to thank you, amazing community, for being the voices of our hostages and for your incredible support of Israel, of me, of our whole community through thick and thin. I don't get to say it often enough, but guys, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. So let's take a look at the top stories making the headlines in Israel, and we go to negotiations. Now, a team from Israel has been dispatched to Doha in Qatar for the latest round of negotiations. But it is the White House envoy, Adam Boehler, that is creating quite a bit of controversy here in Israel. He was speaking to CNN last night, and one of the things that he did was he defended him speaking directly to Hamas. And when he was asked about, Ron Dermer, Israel's representative, how he would feel, he said, I really don't care. And he went on to say that he believes that there is enough with Hamas to make a deal. He believes that Hamas is ready to perhaps lay down their arms for a longer truce. And he says Israel has done a masterful job of getting rid of Hamas and other hostile entities. Now, of course, from Israel's perspective, we see his comments about Hamas being ready to lay down their arms as incredibly naive. This is Hamas who are sworn, their very charter is sworn to the destruction not just of Israel but of the Jewish people. And also they say first the Saturday people, then the Sunday people. There is no way they're going to just lay down their arms. And there's actually a very interesting op-ed in the Times of Israel, written by the editor-in-chief, calling him extremely naive. Meanwhile, he went on to his social media site to say that Hamas are definitely the bad guys here, and that all hostages must be returned, not just American hostages. All hostages, every single one of them, must be returned. Meanwhile, some of the Arab media have indicated that Hamas are ready to be a little bit more flexible. Now, more about how Israel is applying the pressure to Hamas in our audience question. Brigadier General Effie Defrin has been appointed the new IDF chief spokesperson. This follows the news that Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, who so many have got to know over the course of this war, who has really felt like a part of all of our families, will be retired from the military. Hagari caused a little bit of controversy a couple of weeks ago when he criticized some government legislation with regards to decisions around information that can be shared by the IDF to certain government representatives. From the IDF's standpoint, the spokesperson, Rear Admiral Hagari, was looking out for the integrity and the independence of the army. Needless to say, he apologized, and all parties swiftly moved on. And it is not unusual that when there is a change in the chief of staff, that we will see a change in the spokesperson as well. And all of us across the country are paying our tributes and saying our thank yous to Rear Admiral Hagari. In a very moving op-ed in the Jerusalem Post, the editorial board says we owe him thanks, not just for the clear way that he has communicated and for going above and beyond his remit, but also he did something that really was not part of his remit, and that was to visit with hostage families. He spoke a couple of weeks ago about speaking directly to Yarden Bibas, whose beautiful wife Shiri and gorgeous boys Kfir and Ariel were murdered in Hamas captivity. He also spoke directly to the families of the 6 hostages that were murdered at the end of August. And from their perspective, they really, really appreciated his empathy and his spending time with them above what he was expected to do. As a journalist working in Israel covering this war, it has been remarkable to interact with the IDF spokesperson's unit when I have needed information. Extremely professional, extremely forthcoming with whatever our needs have been. And that is testament to the leadership of Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, who has been an officer and a gentleman who has represented us with dignity and integrity. And Rear Admiral Hagari, if I was a soldier, I would salute you. I just thank you so much for your service, and we can't wait to see where your career takes you next. Israel's government have allocated an unprecedented several billion shekels towards strengthening the Druze and Circassian communities. Now, Israel in the last couple of weeks have made the announcement that not only will the IDF defend Druze communities south of Damascus in Syria, but we will also start allocating permits for members of the Druze community from Syria to come into Israel to work. Meanwhile, over the last few days, a horrific genocide has been taking place in Syria, and that is the murder of hundreds of Kurds, Alawite, and Christians by government forces. Now, the government of Syria have said that they will launch an investigation into this, but the global media have been silent. However, here on the Israel Brief, we are not the legacy media, and we will not be silent about the murder, especially of our Christian brothers and sisters, our Alawites, Kurds, and other minority groups in Syria. We are extremely, extremely concerned for their safety. And we are going to be following this story and developments around that very, very closely. And finally, Israel has released the song that our representative to the Eurovision Song Competition, Yuval Raphael, will sing. It is called New Day Will Rise. I have posted it on the Lottel Facebook page. It is magnificent. Please show her your support. She is a remarkable talent and truly a very, very special young woman. She is a survivor of the Nova Festival massacre. She hid in a bomb shelter on the side of the road for hours. I will post her story to the Lottel Facebook page so that you can hear it for yourself as well. And Yuval, we are standing behind you. The whole of Israel and all our supporters are standing behind you. Bring that trophy home to Israel. And now for our audience question, it comes to us from Steve from Cape Town. He says, is Israel within international law to cut electricity supplies to Gaza? So Steve, the short answer to your question is yes. Israel is not required under international law to supply Gaza with anything. If you recall, Israel withdrew unilaterally from the Gaza Strip in 2005. And in 2006, Hamas overthrew Fatah very, very violently in the Strip, becoming the de facto government. Now, Israel announced yesterday that we will be cutting the remaining of our electricity supplies, because Hamas has been using the electricity, they've been diverting it and using it for military purposes. Now, it doesn't mean that the Gaza Strip is without electricity. They do have solar power, they do have generators, and quite frankly, have you ever heard in the history of warfare where you have to provide an enemy entity with food, electricity, and water when they actually have supplies themselves? So that's the answer to your question, and if you have a question that you would like answered, please pop it in the comment section below or be in touch with us via our website and social media. So guys, that's it from me for today. Don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online, our YouTube channel right here at the Israel Brief. We are on Facebook at Lotlsite, that's at LOTLSITE. On Instagram at Rolene_Marks, on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks, and on X at Love the Land 5. So guys, God bless you all, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.